Have you ever walked into a building, whether it's a grand old bank, a state palace, or a massive cathedral, and suddenly your voice drops to a whisper? You unexpectedly feel the need to walk slowly, avoid being rowdy, and feel as though you are being watched by the very walls around you. Yet, there's no security guards scolding you and no signboards telling you to be afraid. Welcome to the Architecture of Power. In this 10th episode of the Power Play arc, we're going to dissect something that is right in front of our eyes, but whose logic is rarely realized: buildings. Architecture isn't just about aesthetics or looking good on Instagram. For rulers throughout history, architecture has been a silent weapon. A building is a physical communication protocol designed to mentally suppress anyone who enters it. In the previous episode, we discussed coronation objects. Now we discuss the stage. A building is a ruler's way of saying, "I am eternal, I am great, and you are merely dust on my floor." There are 5 design secrets used by the architects of power for thousands of years to ensure you know your position in the social hierarchy. Prepare your critical logic. Let's dismantle this building system. 1. Scale. The logic of a house of giants. The first secret is the most obvious: scale. Ever wondered why the pillars in a Supreme Court or a Parliament building are irrationally tall? Why must the doors be 5 meters when a human is only 1.7 meters tall? Logically, this is a waste of space, but psychologically, this is gigantism. The logic is this: biologically, the human brain has sensors to compare its body size with its surroundings. When you are in a room that is 10 times the size of a normal human, your brain sends a signal: this place isn't for me, this is a house of giants. The effect? You feel small. When you feel small, your self-confidence drops automatically. This massive scale creates an instant distance of authority. The ruler wants you to feel like an ant entering an eagle's nest. You are forced to realize that the individual is meaningless compared to the institution that built the building. Scale is the cheapest way to buy respect without having to say a single word. 2. Symmetry, the protocol of absolute order. Look at the most iconic government buildings. Almost all of them are symmetrical. The left side and the right side must be exactly the same, from the number of windows to the position of pillars. Why? Because in the wild, perfect symmetry is rare. Nature is messy, trees grow crooked, and mountains are uneven. Symmetry is a symbol of control. By building something perfectly symmetrical, the ruler is sending a visual message. Here, everything is regulated. There is no room for chaos or individual improvisation. Logically, rigid symmetry is both calming and intimidating. Irregularity is human, but symmetry is divine or authoritarian. When your eyes see lines that are perfectly straight and balanced, your brain is programmed to enter rule-following mode. That is why dictators throughout history, from the Roman era to the 20th century, were always obsessed with obsessive city planning and symmetrical buildings. Symmetry dictates your mind to believe that this system is stable and impossible to shake by a small person like you. 3. Material, the cold illusion of permanence. Have you ever felt that a government building is cold even when the air conditioning is off? The secret lies in the choice of material. Rulers hate wood or materials that easily decay over time. They love granite, marble, and thick concrete. The logic behind it is permanence. Heavy marble gives the impression that this building has existed since ancient times and will remain for thousands of years to come. This is the ruler's way of instilling a subconscious fear that their regime or system is eternal. Furthermore, materials like stone and metal have unique acoustic properties. They reflect sound, echoes. The echo in a large room makes the sound of your footsteps louder, while your speaking voice becomes muffled. This makes you feel watched by the walls themselves. These hard and cold materials dictate your mind to feel that the system is heartless, non-negotiable, and will not crumble just because of small protests. You are facing something that is hard both literally and figuratively. 4. Height, the verticality of authority. The 4th secret is the game of height. This isn't just about the height of the building from the outside, but the height of the ceiling inside. Why are the ceilings of cathedrals or main palace halls so high that you get tired just looking for the top? Historically and biologically, humans have always associated up with God or the heavens. By creating extremely high ceilings, the ruler is creating a protocol of unreachable aspirations. You are forced to constantly look up. And logically, in terms of body position, when you look up, your neck is exposed, a position that in animal instinct means surrender or submission. In addition, buildings of power are usually built on hills or have very long stairs to reach the main door. The physical process of climbing high stairs leaves you slightly breathless by the time you reach the main door. Psychologically, this is the stage of weakening the prey. When you arrive before the ruler, your body is already in a state of physical fatigue and your eyes are forced to look up. You have already lost mentally before the discussion begins. 5. Access, the filtration labyrinth. Finally, the secret of access. Have you ever felt that entering an important building is incredibly complicated? It's not just about security guards, but the spatial layout. You have to pass through long corridors, heavy doors, and climb stairs before reaching the main room. The logic is filtration and exclusivity. The architecture of power is intentionally designed like a labyrinth to show that not everyone can enter here. The more layers or doors you have to pass through, the more you feel that the person at the end of the room is very important and very powerful. Difficult access creates a forced sense of respect. This is a strategy to build mystery. If the office of a president or CEO were right on the side of the road without doors, their authority would drop because everyone could see them. The architecture of access ensures social distance. You are programmed to feel lucky to get in, and that feeling of luck is usually followed by a desire to be polite and obedient so as not to be kicked out. So, what is the common thread of these 5 architectural secrets? Logically, a building is a physical manifestation of the will to power. We often think we are free to express our opinions, but when we stand under the shadow of giant symmetrical pillars, our primal instincts often surrender before our logic does. Architecture is the most long-lasting form of power play. The leaders may die, the regimes may change, but the buildings remain there to continue instilling the same protocol into the next generation. In the modern era, this also applies to startup offices or digital banks. Even though the style is more minimalist, they still use expansive scales, cold glass materials, and elevator access that requires special cards. The logic remains the same, creating a separation between those inside and us outside. Understanding architecture means you can start to see the psychological traps set through cement and stone. The next time you enter a grand building, try to stand tall. Realize that those pillars are just stone and that massive scale is just a perspective trick. Don't let the design of a building dictate your self-worth. Thank you for watching until the end. If you like how we explain complex things to make them make more sense, don't forget to follow Synoptic. We will continue to discuss many everyday things that are actually fascinating, as long as they are explained the right way. Synoptic, the world simplified, one thought at a time.